See if Mr. Big's waiting for us. Once we got to the top, we peeked over into the Alpine Basin, and there was several bucks right below us. Two of them started fighting, and one of them was a really nice buck about 27 inches wide. Then we looked a little bit more. We spotted another buck a little bit bigger than him, about 3/4 of a mile away. Light was fading fast, so we decided to descend off of the top in the deep, deep snow and see how close we could get to the buck right underneath us. It was about 27 inches wide. What we didn't know is there was a cliff right underneath us. It was so steep that several times we slid kind of out of control, and we were afraid we were going to go off the cliff, so I decided to take a shot a little longer than I would have liked.
Ready? Hi.
The shot was well over 400 yards, but what I didn't take into consideration is how steep it was. It was probably about a 70-degree angle, and I only aimed about 4 inches down from the top of his back.
Well, Jim, where did my shot go?
I think you were a little higher and a little to the left. It was a good try, a tough shot. It was one of those deer that you have to make the stalk on and do the best you can.
Okay, this is about a treacherous place to be trying to stalk. Look where we were going down this solid rock over there.
Yeah.
Glad we bailed on that. And I think what I did is I aimed only about 4 inches down, being a 400-yard shot. And with the angle of trajectory, that bullet just kept flying high. And I mean, it was a miss, but I don't know. This is just a tough place right now. And I think that we'll give them some time. I think they'll be back.
Oh, I don't think these girls even leave this basin.
Yeah.
I think they'll get down into those trees. They don't know where the shots come from. 2 days from now, we'll come back and see that same deer.
Cool.
When I missed that buck, yeah, I was disappointed, but what I was really glad to know is the other buck that was a little bit bigger didn't even hear the gunshot and didn't even get out of his bed. So I thought, bingo, we'll go back to camp, warm up some, and I'll be back here right at daybreak and see if I can find the big guy. Well, come daybreak, day 4, I peeked over the top where I had taken a shot the day before. There was no deer in that basin. But I looked over about 3/4 of a mile away where we'd seen the big buck, and I'd spotted the 27-inch buck that was the one I was shooting at the day before. We quickly saddled up and rimmed the side of the mountain. Once we got over there, we looked down to where the buck was, and he was gone. He went into the timber. After scanning the timber, we spotted a buck. It wasn't him, but it was the big buck we were after originally. This was going to be a very difficult stalk because he was on the edge of the timber. We were above the timber line in the wide open. So the guide, he came up with the idea, let's lay down in the deep snow, which is over 2 foot deep, and just slide on our backs all the way down in the open, kind of like a foxhole, below the surface of the snow, and the deer wouldn't be able to visibly see us. Once we got down off the top and got into the timber, we were in good shape. We made our stalk over. It was very tough because the snow was so deep to lay down in. I couldn't sit up because of the shooting sticks were buried so deep in the snow. I was really struggling with finding a good location to get a shot from. So what I did is I crawled over to the edge of the peak of the ridge, smashed all the snow down, laid on my Master Guide backpack. Bingo, I had the rest I was looking for, rock solid, but it was a 375-yard shot, and only about half of the deer's body was exposed.
He's down?
He's down.
All right, that's the buck we were after, man. Yeah! Hey, man, I can do a snow angel like nobody. Yeah. Well, yeah, this was the rest. There ain't nothing like laying down. I tell you, in the high country of Wyoming, there's some awesome, awesome animals here. And I tell you, Trevor Outfitters, I got to thank you. I knew if I got drawn, I had a chance of killing just something just spectacular. And you guys ever looking to book a hunt, check out Wyoming because you will have an adventure of a lifetime. Yeah. All right, boys. Look what we got here, man. Look what we got.
Good job.
Yeah. We're going to drag him down here so you guys take a look at this big old toad.
Let's get hold of him and pull him out here. Okay?
Yeah. Nice buck. Nice buck. Unbelievable. Yeah, look what Wyoming has for me. Don't get no better than this. You guys get in here too.
Oh, that was good shooting.
I want to thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is probably the biggest buck I've ever taken. And the Trapper and Outfitters, they know where they're at, and more than anything, how to get them. You can see them up here, but getting them is another story. What a dandy buck. All right. Oh, yeah. This is,
That's all 18. Yeah.
yeah, this is pushing like a 180 buck, isn't it?
Yeah.
He had eye guards, boy, he'd be way up in the 180s. Just got a little bitty guy.
Got a little bit of velvet still up there on his base. Big deer too. Look how blocky he is. That's a nice deer.
Yeah, he probably weighed 250 pounds.
All of.
I'd believe it. You sure don't want to carry one of these out on your back, and you hunt up here, you better have some horses and have the right outfitter. Well, we'll be right back with some elk hunting action.